Friends, today we are going to talk about an interesting subject on whether an alcohol-based economy is a desirable thing for a state or a country to heavily depend upon. What prompted me to do this video was a recent report in the newspapers, in the media, that during the Onam festival days, Kerala made a whopping profit through sale of liquor to the tune of more than 650 crores. I think it's really very important to ponder upon whether alcohol-based economy is a desirable thing. Just to give a small background, the economy of Kerala is the 9th largest in India. If you talk about annual gross state product, that is GSP. Whereas if you look at the per capita GSP, Kerala is the 6th largest in India. Kerala's very high figures of productivity and GDP and development figures, often dubbed by the economists as the Kerala phenomenon or Kerala model of economy, arises mainly from Kerala's land reforms and the social upliftment of entire population, which is all implemented by various governments over the past many years. Kerala happens to be the second most urbanized state in the country, with more than 50% of urban population. It is also the least poor state in the country if you consider the MPI or the Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index, which is released by Niti Aayog. Ernakulam district in Kerala is the only district in India having zero poverty. Having said all about a great GDP and great economy in Kerala as compared to many states in India, Kerala still relies heavily on alcohol economy to fill its finances. The government employs state monopoly over liquor sale in Kerala through government-owned Kerala State Beverages Corporation. Over the years, every year the liquor sales have been rising. The government applies the highest state tax on the liquor sale in Kerala, and thus taxes on alcohol is one of the major sources of revenue for the state. Government is opening up lot many bars. Ideally, for the social benefits, one has to bring down the alcohol consumption in our state. The National Family Health Survey results show a dip or a decline in the number of consumers of alcohol in Kerala. 2019-20 results shows around 20% of the men and 0.2% of the women consuming alcohol in Kerala above the age of 15. The same figures was almost 40% men and 1.6% women during 2015-16. What is the reason for the decline? It's high time one has to do a detailed research into it. Probably this is showing the success of an anti-alcohol or anti-narcotic campaign being done by various NGOs and Kudumbashree, etc., in Kerala. One disturbing aspect about this is that youth are more getting attracted to drugs instead of alcohol. Let us look at the desirability of alcohol-based economy. Of course, it depends on various factors and perspectives. The plus point of alcohol-based economy is that it could generate significant revenue through the production, distribution and sale of liquor. Definitely this revenue could contribute to government budget, create jobs and stimulate the economic developments. However, one has to see whether this economic growth is sustainable and whether it leads to a diverse and stable economy. One of the negative points about developing alcohol economy is the health and social consequences. Alcohol consumption can lead to various social problems, health problems including addiction, liver diseases, and of course accidents. Also alcohol-related crime and family problems. So when you talk about the economic growth, one has to look at the other side, the strain on the health and social problems. So an overall impact on the economy has to be really worked out based on various research and surveys, which is quite absent in our country. Western countries, they are doing many research studies and surveys and all on this. It is high time we start doing the real impact on the economy. Of course, the desirability of an alcohol-based economy can vary with culture and society. Some regions have long history of alcohol production and consumption, even as a cultural tradition, while others may have social or religious restrictions. So, balancing the economic interests with cultural values and social well-being is a complex challenge. So, come to think of it, an effective regulation and responsible consumption are crucial Definitely, governments should implement policies to have some control, especially preventing underage drinking, drunken drivings, and also address public health concerns. Actually, they should ensure that the alcohol based income which comes to them should be invested more into healthcare, education, and social programs to mitigate the negative consequences. In fact, relying heavily on one type of economy or maybe alcohol production or alcohol sale in itself can make economy vulnerable to fluctuations in demand and in changing customer preferences or even external factors like climate changes affecting the crops. So a diversified economy is always preferable. And you should even consider the ethical considerations. Some individuals or the groups have ethical objections to promote or take profit from sale of alcohol, especially if it leads to addiction and harm to health. So in summary, whether alcohol-based economy is desirable or not will definitely depend on how it is managed, regulated, and integrated into the broader context of society, its values and priorities. It can definitely come with an economic growth, but you have to pay the price for health, social problems. One has to do an in-depth study and research to calculate the economic cost of alcohol abuse in our state, which is really not clear as of now. The linkage of alcohol abuse to crimes, including violent crimes, property crime, and public intoxication. Another very important point is the reduced productivity, which has been proved in various research studies in the Western countries. The alcohol abuse is known to affect the productivity of the people, workforce, family breakdown issues, child neglect, domestic violence, etc., etc., social problems like increased poverty, homelessness, unemployment, losing employment. So this complex issue with both positive and negative impacts. Of course, for one reason, Kerala is now depending heavily on the tourism industry, which is really picking up in Kerala, and Kerala has a great potential. And alcohol has a definite role to play to boost the tourism industry. So definitely when it comes to tourism, one has to look at a good availability of alcohols, a vibrant nightlife and things like that. In my personal opinion, I look at it like a similar industry, a hospital industry. A hospital today can be thought about as a business entity in itself. A private hospital has to sustain economically in itself by generating revenue and investing heavily on increasing the facilities and providing services to the patients, and the patients are the customers. But can we say that it is desirable to promote hospital industries, putting up a lot of advertisements to attract the patients, their customers to the hospitals, and deliberately do something to have ill health in the society so that you can attract more customers, more patients to the hospital for the prosperity of the hospital? On one hand, it is definitely necessary to have a number of hospitals available to cater to the various health issues of patients as customers around, and they should provide all facilities. But having said that, it is definitely not desirable to do something to increase the number of patients and to make people think that they're very sick or they should come to the hospital and take the services. Similarly, so alcohol industry is something very similar. It is definitely necessary for ensuring the living standard, the standard of living, to make available alcohol, all types of alcohol, varieties of alcohol available. But having said that, it is not definitely desirable to promote drinking or attract more and more customers, do something to attract more customers or getting more customers addicted to alcohol. On the contrary, like in the case of hospitals, we should try to prevent diseases. Prevention is better than cure. Here in alcohol industry also, we should definitely do something to reduce the alcohol consumption. When you talk about the ethics and morale, many type of industries may not be acceptable to people. It is high time educational institutes and health and family welfare organizations come up with very detailed review and analysis and surveys to establish the overall benefits and the impact or the implications. If you like this video, please like it, share it and subscribe. Thank you.